What if you could learn the ancient secrets to finding joy in the everyday? Indeed, that's what we're here to explore today, delving into the profound insights offered by the book, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy by William B. Irvine. Stoicism, a philosophy born in the heart of ancient Greece, is more relevant today than ever before. It offers us a unique lens through which to view our world, helping us find serenity amidst the chaos. This isn't about denying emotions or living a life devoid of passion. Quite the contrary. Stoicism is about understanding our emotions, navigating them wisely, and finding a deep-seated joy that is untouched by the ups and downs of life. It's about embracing the art of living a good life. Intrigued? You should be. Stay tuned, we're about to unravel the wisdom of Stoicism. Picture Stoicism as a tool, a method to find inner peace. But to truly grasp it, we must wind the clock back to ancient Greece. Stoicism was born in the bustling markets of Athens, conceived by a chap named Zeno of Citium. Zeno's brainchild was more than philosophy. It was a way of life. He and his followers, like the famous Epictetus, believed in accepting the world as it is. They understood that certain things are within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, but the rest, the weather, the traffic, the opinions of others, those are beyond our grasp. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, was a firm believer in this principle. He taught that we should strive to control only what is in our power, while accepting everything else with grace and equanimity. He reasoned that life's disturbances don't come from external events, but from our perception and reaction to them. But let's clarify something crucial. Stoicism doesn't preach emotional suppression. Far from it. Stoics are not stone-faced statues, immune to joy or sorrow. Instead, they advocate for understanding, for discerning what we can and cannot control. The goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to prevent them from overwhelming us. Stoicism is like a compass in a storm, guiding us to inner peace amidst life's tumultuous seas. It encourages us to embrace the inevitable, to weather life's storms with a steady heart. It's about finding tranquility in turmoil, peace in pandemonium. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This encapsulates the essence of Stoicism. It's about harnessing the power within us, about mastering our thoughts and reactions. So, if you find yourself fretting over a delayed flight or a harsh word, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Reflect on what is within your control and let go of the rest. After all, why let the uncontrollable dictate your peace of mind? Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but about understanding what we can and cannot control. It's a guide to the good life, a path to inner peace. And with its wisdom, we can navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. Now, let's dive into the core concepts of Stoicism as presented in the book. First, we encounter negative visualization. It's a bit like taking a mental trip to the worst-case scenario. Not to wallow in misery, but to appreciate what we have. It's about imagining life without the things or people we cherish. But why? Well, by regularly visualizing the loss of what we hold dear, we can increase our appreciation for them, and consequently, our joy in the present. It's a bit of a paradox, but it works. Moving on, we come across voluntary discomfort. Now, this might sound a bit odd. Why would anyone choose discomfort? This Stoic practice is about occasionally subjecting ourselves to situations we'd rather avoid. It could be as simple as skipping dessert or as challenging as a cold shower. This practice is all about building resilience to life's inevitable discomforts and understanding that we can endure more than we think. Finally, we explore the concept of internal versus external goals. The Stoics believed that we should focus on what's within our control, our actions, our responses, our attitudes. These are our internal goals. The external goals, on the other hand, are outcomes we desire but can't completely control, like winning a game, getting a promotion, or the weather. According to the Stoics, it's more beneficial to focus on the process, our internal goals, rather than the outcome, our external goals. This shift in focus can lead to a greater sense of peace and satisfaction. Each of these concepts, negative visualization, voluntary discomfort, and internal versus external goals might seem counterintuitive at first glance, but when we delve deeper, we see how they can lead to a more contented, resilient, and joyful life. They provide us with tools to cope with life's ups and downs and to appreciate what we have right now. Understanding these concepts is the first step towards applying Stoicism in your life. So how does understanding Stoicism lead us to a good life? Well, let's dive into that. First, it's essential to understand that Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to life's ups and downs. Rather, it's about finding joy in the everyday, in the ordinary, and even in the unexpected. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. The typical reaction might be frustration or anxiety, but Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on the situation's uncontrollable aspects like the traffic, we can concentrate on our response to it, which is in our control. We could use this time to listen to an enlightening podcast or just enjoy the rare moment of solitude amidst the hustle and bustle. This shift in perspective can turn an otherwise stressful experience into a moment of joy. Let's consider another example. Say you're waiting in a long queue at the grocery store. You could brood over the wasted time, or you could seize this opportunity to practice patience, observe people, or even strike up a conversation with the person next to you. Stoicism teaches us to find joy in such seemingly mundane moments. Now, you might be wondering, does Stoicism mean we should always be happy? The answer is no. Stoicism doesn't advocate for constant happiness, which is an unrealistic expectation. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's okay to feel a range of emotions. What Stoicism does promote, however, is appreciating the present moment, accepting it as it is, and finding inner peace. To put it in the words of the renowned Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. By changing our perspective, by focusing on what's in our control, and by embracing each moment as it comes, we can find joy in the everyday, the ordinary, the unexpected. This is the power of Stoic joy. Stoic joy isn't about constant happiness, but about appreciating the present moment and finding peace within. Now that we understand Stoicism, how do we practice it in our daily lives? A profound question indeed. Stoicism isn't merely a philosophy to be studied. It's a way of life to be lived. It's about finding serenity in the midst of chaos and joy in the ordinary. Let's start with mindfulness, a cornerstone of Stoic practice. Stoicism encourages us to live in the present moment, to be fully aware and engaged with what is happening right now. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, do not let the panorama of your life oppress you. Do not dwell on all the various troubles which may have occurred in the past or may occur in the future. Just ask yourself in each instance of the present, what is there in this work which I cannot endure or support? Next, we come to accepting change. The world around us is in a constant state of flux, and Stoics understand this. They embrace change instead of resisting it. Remember the words of Epictetus, it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance. So, when change comes, instead of seeing it as a disruption, perceive it as a natural part of life's ebb and flow. Lastly, Stoicism teaches us to focus on internal goals. It's about directing our efforts towards what we can control, our thoughts, our reactions, our actions. External events are beyond our control, and to fret over them is to invite unnecessary stress. Seneca, another noted Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Practicing Stoicism isn't about achieving perfection. It's about making consistent, mindful efforts. It's about understanding that we have the power to shape our responses, to choose tranquility over turmoil, and to find joy in the everyday. It's about living a life of virtue and wisdom, and in the process, discovering a deeper sense of fulfillment. Remember, practicing Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It's about the path we choose to walk, the mindset we adopt, and the peace we cultivate within ourselves. Every step, every breath, every moment is an opportunity to practice Stoicism, to live a good life, So let's seize these opportunities and embark on this enlightening journey. Let's look at some real-life examples of people who practice Stoicism. This will give us a clearer understanding of how this philosophy can be applied and the benefits it can bring. A prime example of a contemporary Stoic is Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. Gates is known for his calm demeanor and his ability to make rational decisions, even in high-pressure situations. He attributes much of this to his practice of Stoicism. The principles of Stoicism have helped him to focus on what he can control and let go of what he cannot. This has been instrumental in his success. Another notable figure who practices Stoicism is Tim Ferriss, an entrepreneur, author, and public speaker. Ferriss often talks about how Stoicism has helped him in both his personal and professional life. He uses Stoicism to guide his actions and decisions, helping him to remain calm and composed regardless of the circumstances. Ferriss even wrote a book, The Tao of Seneca, where he shares his interpretation and application of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism isn't just for the successful and well-known, though. It's a philosophy that anyone can adopt. Consider Jane, a schoolteacher from Manchester. Jane was often stressed and overwhelmed by the demands of her job. However, after discovering Stoicism, she learned to focus on her reactions to these stressors rather than the stressors themselves. This shift in perspective drastically improved her mental well-being and made her a more effective teacher. Then there's John, a construction worker from Birmingham. John used to get easily frustrated when things didn't go as planned. After adopting Stoicism, he learned to accept the things he couldn't change and to focus his energy on areas where he could make a difference. This not only improved his work performance, but also his overall quality of life. As you can see, Stoicism can be a powerful tool no matter who you are or what you do. It's a philosophy that encourages us to focus on what's truly important and within our control, helping us to lead happier, more fulfilled lives. As we come to the end of our journey today, let's reflect on what we've learned. We've navigated the terrain of Stoicism, a philosophy as old as time, yet as relevant today as it was in the days of ancient Greece and Rome. William B. Irvine, in his book, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy, painted a vivid picture of this philosophy and its enduring relevance. We started with the basics, understanding that Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or enduring pain with a stiff upper lip. Instead, it's a practical philosophy that helps us lead good lives. Stoicism, we learned, is about understanding what we can control and accepting what we can't. It's about focusing on our actions and responses, rather than obsessing over outcomes that are often out of our hands. Next, we delved into the core concepts of Stoicism. We learned about the dichotomy of control, the idea that some things are in our control and others are not. We also explored the concept of negative visualization, a powerful tool that teaches us to appreciate what we have by imagining life without it. We then discovered the power of Stoic joy. Unlike fleeting happiness, Stoic joy is a deep, enduring sense of contentment that comes from living in accordance with nature and focusing on the present moment. It's a joy that's within our control, unaffected by external circumstances. We also discussed how to practice Stoicism in our daily lives. We learned that it's not just about understanding the philosophy, but also about applying it. We learned to use negative visualization to appreciate our blessings, to practice dispassionate judgment to avoid being swayed by external circumstances, and to strive for tranquility, the ultimate goal of Stoicism. We looked at real-life examples of individuals who have embraced Stoicism and found peace and contentment even in the face of adversity. These stories brought to life the power and practicality of Stoicism, showing us that it's not just a theoretical philosophy, but a practical guide to living well. As we wrap up, I want to remind you of the transformative potential of Stoicism. It's not just a philosophy to be studied, but a way of life to be lived. It's a tool that can help us navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, find joy in the present moment, and lead fulfilling, meaningful lives. Remember, Stoicism is not about enduring life, it's about enjoying it. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about managing them, It's not about accepting fate passively. It's about acting purposefully. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. So go forth and practice the art of stoic joy in your life.